It was over 20 years ago that my wonderful daughter, Abigail Joy, was struggling with diabetes and eventually with mental health challenges as well. And in that process ended up being hospitalized multiple times. A number of those times we were in ICUs, and it was a great struggle for her and for our family. And we at that point, we were a family in crisis. Well, fast forward a few months, Abby's at an eating disorder program in Arizona, and I go to visit her. It was an equine program, and she says to me, "Papa, can I get a horse?" And I said, "Abby, a horse?" And she said, "Papa, please." I said, "Abby, I don't know anything about horses." And she said, "Please, Papa." And so I typed up 2 paragraphs, and I came out here knocking on doors, going door to door. And on the 8th door, I found a 29-acre field. The only thing that was here was 1,000 gophers, and it was a field of dreams. And during that time, we built a home and hoped and prayed and planned and dreamed and longed for stability. And we moved in our home in May of 2005, and she came home about 10 weeks later. And 11 weeks after that, on her 18th birthday, I took her to the local emergency room. And 7 days later, on September 11th of 2005, my beloved daughter, Abigail Joy, passed away. You know, acres for joy, acres intended for joy. Now, this will be a blessing to all youth. But you know, it wasn't all youth that got me to this field. It was the weight. It was the weight that had doubled down on one individual. The weight of mental health and medical health on my beloved Abigail. And that pressure and that weight is what caught my attention full on. And to see how that affected her and her family. And then to step back and think, oh my goodness, this goes on in other families. So I live with an awareness that trouble very often for kids is around many corners. And that is part of the contribution that added to my desire to continue to build a program, to use a property in a way that could help. And you know, the vision was kind of distant, like you don't really see how it's all going to come together. But over the years, little by little, we began to find ways to serve kids. We want to use what we have as best we can to make a difference. That's what our desire is. Michaela called, and I thought it was the wrong number. And I said to her, I think you have the wrong number. And she said, no, I don't think I do. And that conversation over a period of months led to this day, a day that Lippert brought 100 employees. 100 employees to volunteer at Acres for Joy, making a difference here.
Part of my role at Lippert is to help find volunteer opportunities for large groups. We are with our team members sometimes more than they are at home when they're working in the plants, and we have the opportunity to help them help our communities. And so how can we encourage that? How can we help them find purpose outside of our Lippert doors and help them grow in servant leadership? Because it's truly the core of who we are at Lippert, who our team members are. None of this is possible without our team members saying yes and being willing to take a step outside sometimes of their comfort zone and say yes to projects like this.
Lippert Cares is one of our philanthropic initiatives. We try to give 100,000 hours back to our communities. And our home base is out of Elkhart, Indiana, but we really want to spread the love throughout the communities across not only the country, but across the globe. It makes me feel really proud to be a part of a company that not only takes the time to do this, but brings people, invests in people's time to be out here, traveling across the country to be able to serve is very cool.
They came and shared with us the spirit of Lippert and their value upon individuals, upon families, upon a culture, to create a culture for their employees. And that really was that was quite a sharing for us.
It's been mentioned a few times that when you serve other people and do this kind of volunteer work, that you never leave dissatisfied. It's kind of fills your heart to be able to help individuals that are in need, and it's such a great cause that they do here.
It's been fantastic working with our brothers and sisters from our Indiana location and other locations around the area. It truly does feel like family, you know, when you got, especially those like family reunions and people come together and stuff like that after, you know, not seeing each other for a long time. It feels great.
One takeaway from this experience for me is just remembering to take a step back and being intentional with my time. Day-to-day can get so chaotic, but just remembering to be present, be in the moment, and build connections with those around me.
One of the team members shared that so often we think sometimes we have to do this, or this is something that we have to do. And after hearing Jeff, the CEO, speak this morning and seeing the sea of red shirts today, she was like, it's just a great reminder that we get to do this, that this is something the company allows us to do, and how grateful are we to be in that position. And I couldn't say it better myself. It reminds me that there is so much goodness in this world. In a world where we so often see so much negativity because that's what sells on news or social media, we're surrounded by goodness.
You know, the heart of Acres for Joy is many things, but it's the heart of caring and desiring, and you know, if I may say the word, it's the heart of loving and wanting good and blessing and benefit for others, and specifically for kids. This once vacant field is vacant no more. This field that once housed just 1,000 gophers is now the home and gives testimony to tens of thousands of footprints, hoof prints, and paw prints. We have hosted hundreds of kids, thousands, and our intention is to continue to do that.